December is here, and this month brings a rare change for anyone receiving SSI. You will see two separate payments instead of the usual one. Every few years, the calendar lines up this way, but many seniors mistake this as extra money or a bonus. It isn't, and understanding the difference is extremely important. In today's video, I'm going to walk you through exactly when these two deposits arrive, how much you should expect, and the simple steps you need to take to protect your benefits and budget wisely. But there's one detail almost everyone overlooks, a small timing shift that can make January feel much harder if you're not ready for it. And later in this video, I'm going to explain the part that affects your real-life monthly budget far more than the early COLA increase itself. Stay with me, because this update will help you avoid mistakes and stay financially steady into the new year. Why SSI gets two payments in December 2025. Every year, SSI follows a very simple rule. Payments are sent out on the first day of each month, unless that first day falls on a weekend or a federal holiday. When that happens, the Social Security Administration sends the payment on the last business day before the holiday. This is why December 2025 has an unusual schedule and why you will receive two SSI payments in the same month. Your first payment arrives on December 1st, 2025, which is your normal SSI payment for December. Everything about this deposit is standard. Same date, same amount, same process. What makes this month different is what happens at the end of December. Because January 1st, 2026 is New Year's Day and a federal holiday, Social Security will send out the January SSI payment early. Instead of coming on January 1st, it will arrive on December 31st, 2025. This early payment often confuses people. Some believe it's a bonus or extra help for the holidays, but it's not. It is simply January's payment moved up by one day because banks and federal agencies do not process payments on New Year's Day. This is a long-standing federal rule. Not something new and not something you have to apply for. Here's a simple example. Imagine that your normal SSI payment is $943 per month. On December 1st, you receive $943 for your December needs: rent, groceries, utilities, medications. Then, on December 31st, you get your next $943. But that second deposit is January's payment, not extra December money. In January, you will not receive a payment on the 1st because you already received it early on December 31st. It's extremely important to understand who gets these two payments. This rule applies only to SSI recipients. It does not apply to Social Security retirement, SSDI, disability insurance, survivor benefits, spousal benefits, children's benefits. Only people who receive Supplemental Security Income, SSI, are affected by this double payment month. SSI is specifically for low-income seniors, blind individuals, and people with disabilities who meet very strict financial limits. If you receive SSI, you already know how tight the rules are and how every dollar matters. Understanding this two-payment schedule will help you budget properly and avoid running out of money during January, which will feel much longer since your next payment won't arrive until January 31st, 2026. Your 2026 COLA increase, along with the unusual payment schedule, December also brings the very first look at your 2026 COLA increase, also known as the cost of living adjustment. For the year 2026, the COLA has been set at 2.8%. This percentage might look small on paper, but it does provide an increase in your monthly benefit, and SSI recipients are the first group to see it. Because your January payment is arriving early, on December 31st, 2025, that payment will already include your new 2026 benefit amount. This means you get your COLA a few days earlier than people on regular Social Security or SSDI, whose increases will show up in their January payments based on their birthday schedule. Let's look at the new maximum SSI amounts, starting with the December 31st deposit. Individual, $994 per month. Couple, $1,491 per month. Essential person, $498 per month. These are the federal maximums. Your actual payment may be lower depending on your income, your living arrangement, whether you receive help with housing or food, and whether your state adds a supplemental payment on top of the federal amount. To help you understand how the 2.8% increase works, here's a real example. Many SSI recipients currently receive $943 per month, which was the previous maximum for individuals. With the 2.8% COLA, that same person will now receive $994 per month, an increase of $51 each month. Over the course of the year, that adds up to $612 more. Now, it's important to be honest, for many people, costs have gone up much faster than 2.8%. Rent increases, higher food prices, rising utilities, all of these things have stretched fixed incomes very thin. So, while the COLA helps, it may not feel like enough. Still, it is more money in your pocket than you had before, and every dollar will help you get through the month. Because SSI is income-based, your exact increase might look slightly different depending on your situation. But the key point is this: your first payment with the 2026 COLA increase arrives December 31st, and this is your January payment, not extra money. Knowing this helps you plan ahead and make sure your January expenses are covered before the next payment arrives at the end of the month. Who gets the two payments and who doesn't? Now that you understand why two payments are coming in December, it's important to be clear about who receives them. Many people get confused because Social Security has several different programs, and each one follows its own rules. The two December payments apply only to people who receive Supplemental Security Income, or SSI. SSI is a needs-based program designed for those with very low income and limited resources. If you get SSI, you already know how strict the rules are, but here's a simple breakdown of who is included. You receive SSI if you fall into one of these groups: seniors age 65 or older with very limited income and resources, blind individuals of any age who meet income and asset limits, adults with disabilities who meet both medical and financial requirements, certain children with disabilities whose household income meets SSI limits. SSI has strict financial rules because it is designed for individuals with the lowest income. To remain eligible, you must have resources below $2,000 if you are single, or below $3,000 if you are a couple. Resources include things like money in a bank account, cash on hand, or assets that can be easily turned into cash. Your living arrangements and any help you receive from others can also affect your payment amount. SSI income limits are also extremely low. Even earning a small amount can reduce your payment because SSI counts most income when deciding how much you receive. Because SSI is the only program in the Social Security system that pays on the first of every month, it is the only group affected when federal holidays cause a schedule shift. This means that if you receive Social Security Retirement, SSDI, Social Security Disability Insurance, survivor benefits, or spousal benefits, you will not receive two payments in December. Your payments follow a different schedule based on your birthday or other eligibility rules and are not affected by the January 1st holiday in the same way. Understanding this difference is important so you don't get confused by information meant for other beneficiaries. If you receive SSI, December will bring two payments, but they represent December's income and January's income, not bonus money. Keeping these rules in mind will help you budget better and avoid the panic many people feel when they see an unusual deposit schedule. How to prepare financially for January 2026? Now let's talk about something that many SSI recipients don't realize until it's too late. January 2026 will feel like a long month. Because your January payment arrives early, on December 31st, you will not get another payment until January 31st, which is your February deposit. That means you must go an entire month between payments. If you're not prepared, this gap can be extremely difficult. To avoid stress in January, one of the most helpful things you can do is to treat the December 31st payment as January's income, even though it arrives early. Think of it like this: the money is showing up ahead of time, but it still has to stretch across the January bills you always have: rent, utilities, groceries, medications, and everyday needs. Try not to think of it as extra December money. Instead, tell yourself, this is January's check. I need this for next month. Simple budgeting can make a big difference. Start by listing your main monthly expenses, especially the ones that are due early in the month. Rent or mortgage payments usually come first, followed by utilities, phone bills, and prescription costs. Set aside enough from the December 30th deposit to cover these essential items. If you can, put the money in a separate envelope or separate bank balance so you're not tempted to spend it early. If you receive SNAP or have other assistance programs, keep track of those dates as well so that food and basic needs are covered. Planning for meals and avoiding unnecessary purchases can make your SSI payment stretch further. Even small adjustments, like buying generic brands, preparing simple meals, or watching for discounts, can help you stay on track through January. You don't need a complicated budget. A simple list written on a piece of paper or in a notebook is enough. The goal is just to prepare, not to overwhelm yourself. Remember that your next payment after December 31st won't arrive until January 31st, so spacing out your spending is key. With a little planning, you can avoid running out of money halfway through the month. The most important thing to remember is that there's nothing wrong with taking your time to budget. You're not doing anything wrong. This schedule happens because of federal rules, not because of anything you did. Setting aside your money carefully is simply the best way to protect yourself and make the start of 2026 easier and less stressful. Avoiding scams and protecting your SSI. Whenever SSI payments arrive early or when COLA increases begin, scammers become more active. They know many seniors are expecting deposits, and they use this time to try to trick people into sharing personal information. The best way to protect yourself is to remember a few simple rules that never change. First, Social Security will never call you out of the blue to ask for your personal information. They will not ask for your Social Security number, bank account number, Direct Express card information, or Medicare ID. If someone calls you and claims to be from Social Security and asks for details like these, it's a scam. Hang up immediately. Second, Social Security will never charge you a fee to receive your benefits. You don't have to pay to activate your COLA increase or to get your early payment. There is no special form, no registration, and no application process for the COLA. It happens automatically. Anyone who claims otherwise is trying to take advantage of you. Be especially careful with text messages or emails that include links. Fake messages often claim you need to click a link to confirm your benefits, avoid suspension, or collect your COLA. These are scams designed to steal your information or infect your device. Social Security does not send benefit updates through text or email, so delete these messages without clicking. Sometimes scammers send letters that look official. They may use Social Security's logo or similar wording. But real SSA letters will never demand immediate action, threaten to cut off payments, or ask you to contact a different phone number. If a letter seems unusual, call the official SSA number, 1-800-77-21213, to check whether it's real. The safest way to verify anything about your benefits is to go directly to the official website, ssa.gov. You can check your payment history, review notices, and confirm personal details in your My Social Security account. If something worries you, call Social Security yourself rather than responding to incoming calls or messages. You don't have to feel scared, just stay alert. These simple steps will help you keep your money and personal information safe. The SSA will never pressure you, never threaten you, and never ask for sensitive information over the phone. When in doubt, hang up, delete the message, or check the official website. Staying calm and cautious is the best protection. How to make the most of your SSI increase. Even though the 2.8% COLA increase may feel small, there are ways to stretch your monthly SSI amount and make the new year a little easier. One of the most helpful things you can do is look into other assistance programs that work alongside SSI. Many low-income seniors qualify for multiple types of help, and each one can reduce your monthly expenses. Start with SNAP, the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. If you're on SSI and not already receiving SNAP, you may be eligible for monthly food benefits. SNAP can help cover groceries, which frees up more of your SSI payment for rent, bills, and other needs. Many people on SSI qualify for SNAP automatically or with very little paperwork. Next, check whether you qualify for LIHEAP, the Low Income Home Energy Assistance Program. LIHEAP can help with heating and cooling costs, which are some of the biggest expenses during winter and summer. A one-time payment from LIHEAP can make a big difference, especially if your utility bills have increased. If you take medications, you may also be eligible for Medicaid or Medicare Extra Help, depending on your situation. Extra Help can reduce your prescription drug costs and lower your Part D premiums. Medicaid, available in most states for SSI recipients, can cover doctor visits, medications, and medical supplies at little or no cost. There are also programs that can help with phone and internet bills, such as the Lifeline program, which provides a monthly discount. Many cable and internet companies also offer discounted senior plans for low-income households. Individually, each of these programs may seem small, but together they can relieve a large part of your monthly budget. For example, if SNAP saves you $150 a month on groceries, LIHEAP covers your winter heating bill, and Extra Help reduces your medication costs. That can easily free up more than your entire COLA increase for other needs. These programs exist specifically for low-income seniors, people with disabilities, and households on tight budgets. You're not asking for anything extra. You're simply using the support designed to help you stay healthy and stable. If you're unsure where to start, call your local senior center, community action agency, or benefits counselor. They can explain what programs are available in your state and help you apply if needed. Taking advantage of these resources can make your SSI payment go much further and help you manage your monthly expenses with more confidence and less stress. Full timeline for December 2025, March 2026. To help you stay fully prepared, let's go over the complete SSI payment timeline from December 2025 through March 2026. Understanding this schedule will prevent confusion and help you plan your monthly budget without surprises. Your first important date is December 1st, 2025. This is your regular December SSI payment, paid at the 2025 rate. Nothing unusual happens here. This is simply your normal monthly deposit, just like every other month throughout the year. The next important date is December 31st, 2025. This is when you receive your January 2026 SSI payment, and this deposit will include your 2.8% COLA increase. Because January 1st is a federal holiday, Social Security moves the payment to the last business day before the holiday. That's why the COLA shows up early for SSI recipients. This payment represents January's money even though you receive it in December. On January 1st, 2026, you will not receive a payment. This is where many people get confused. Some expect a deposit on January 1st and worry when it doesn't arrive. But remember, you already received it on December 31st. So when New Year's Day comes around, there is nothing more for Social Security to send. Your next deposit comes on January 31st, 2026, which is your February payment. Because your January payment arrived early at the end of December, you'll have to go the entire month of January before seeing another deposit. This is why budgeting carefully is so important. January always feels extra long in years when the calendar shifts payments like this. Finally, your March 1st, 2026 payment arrives right on schedule. That payment returns you to the normal SSI pattern, where benefits arrive on the 1st of each month unless a weekend or holiday causes another shift. Why does this timeline matter so much? Because the gap between December 31st and January 31st is nearly a full month, and without planning, it's easy to run short on money before the next payment arrives. Knowing the dates helps you set aside enough for rent, food, medications, and other essentials. When you follow the timeline, you stay in control and avoid unnecessary stress. Before we end, let's quickly recap the important points. SSI recipients will see two payments in December, one on the 1st and another on the 31st. The second one includes your 2026 COLA increase, but remember it is January's payment, not extra money, since there is no payment on January 1st. Careful budgeting will help you get through the month until your next deposit arrives on January 31st. We also talked about ways to protect yourself from scams and how to make the most of your benefits by checking for food, utility, and medical assistance programs. You're not alone. Millions of seniors are navigating the same schedule and facing the same challenges. This channel is here to guide you through every step so you always know what to expect. If you found this update helpful, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss the January report. And if you feel comfortable, share your situation in the comments. Your experiences help others feel supported and remind us all that we're in this together.